All right, it's time to play the game again. You guys were right, we were wrong. But before we get into it, these animals, they need some fresh water and food because it's cold and they're probably hungry. Doesn't everybody else like taking care of their animals during the winter time? I mean, it's nice to see this white stuff the very first time it shows up with the animals, and then after that it gets a little exhausting to keep up with it.
One piece in hand, it's a start, but it's a mighty puzzle to make. No need to say, how will I cope? With your heart on your sleeve, it's a fine line between letting go and losing control. So I take my love and
Well, this is the second day in a row that the main flock is not outside here. Chelsea told me yesterday about how the main flock wasn't outside and what was going on, and it's weird because this flock, more than any of the other chickens, are always outside even if it's cold, not carrying to free range. And what we realized is that this automatic coop door, for some reason, is having enough power to close, but not enough power to open. So we're gonna have to get some new batteries for it today, but today we'll manually open it just so that all these chickens can come outside. Well, that's much better. Now all the chickens are out, they're having fun, and up here comes Rosie. Come on, Rosie, move those feet. She's one of our older chickens, now that they are about 3.5, 4 years old. So definitely have to put that on our agenda to make sure that we get new batteries for that door today, because we don't want that problem. I mean, it's better that it's at least locking up, but for it to not open, it's kind of bad that they just sit here all morning. One egg, that's not enough to feed the family, but gotta take what we can get at the moment. So let's get into the you guys told us so thing and what our big project is for the day, and it is for these main flock chickens, and it's not the automatic door. So a little over a year ago today, we built this chicken run for our chickens specifically for this time of year, so that they had a bigger spot to roam around in just in case they didn't want to free range in the snow and the really cold weather. It gave them an extra shelter because all they had beforehand was just their coop, and they were forced to kind of either just stay in their coop, and we didn't want that. We wanted them to have a little bit more room to roam, so we built them a big run that was covered on the top but also still had airflow in. But during the winter time, this is when we have to wrap it up like we just did to make sure that the drafts stay away, that snow doesn't enter, and it kind of just gives them their safe, cozy spot to go in the winter time. And to spice it up, of course, we put in little things for them to perch on, jump on, just sit on and rest on. And we called it basically like a chicken playground run, which they've absolutely loved having. Well, one of the main comments that we got on this video, which is now approaching 1 million views, which we are just, it blows our mind that it almost has 1 million views, so thank you guys, is the roof would not hold snow. That has not been the problem. So for once, that has actually worked out for us. As you can see right now, we have snow on it. This is probably about 2 inches of snow. As you can see, I have to re-put this on. I realized I did not put any staples here on, like kind of the middle part of this to kind of hold it up a little better. It has held snow all winter last year and the start of this year. So for all those comments, so far we haven't had that issue. The second big comment that we got about this roof, which was not going to stay, is that it's going to be a wind problem, that the wind would take it. Now, for everyone who said that, bing, 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 you're the winner. Because now we have a big hole in the roof here in our chicken run. And I think we lost 2 panels. Oh, here's one under the snow. We lost 2 panels that blew off. Now we have them right here, and this is what's on today's agenda because the whole point of this chicken run is for the winter time, and if we have a big hole in the roof and snow's going in there, it doesn't really help them. So one of those boards looks pretty busted. Luckily, we do have one extra one that we can use for this. And for everyone who said that this was gonna happen, it finally did. We officially have a good size hole in this chicken run. It lasted us about a year for that to happen, so I don't know if that's a good thing. Probably not a good thing that we're fixing it already, but a lot of people thought it wasn't gonna last for any kind of snowfall, and you can see it does hold snow. So let's get to fixing a roof so that these guys will be nice and warm for the winter time. These boards did take a little bit of a beating, but it's what I have right now, and I wanna make sure this gets covered before the next snowfall. We can always put new ones on if needed. Let's just see how much we're gonna get of coverage right now. All right, one down. Let's get this last one on. And at least they'll have some coverage for any of the big snowfalls that are happening. I don't think anybody likes admitting that they were wrong, and especially when there's a lot of comments saying that this is gonna happen, and I remember thinking in my head, like, no, it's gonna be fine. There shouldn't be any worries. I think it's gonna hold up really well. But unfortunately, sometimes we're wrong, and sometimes we just have to be able to admit that we wish we would have done better with something. And that's all point of life, is making mistakes and learning from them. As you can see, I didn't staple everything that I needed to on this, so this is starting to fall down. So we need to get some more staples into this next. Do I feel super confident now with how this roof is going to hold up? I don't. I wish that I could say now that, like, oh nope, this will be a great fix to it. I think unfortunately, we might just have to redo the whole entire roof, just like a few of you guys said. But for right now, it is basically for the most part covered. There is a few holes in it, which makes me wonder about the integrity of it and is it gonna hold up? But the reason we have it is so that when the chickens go in here, the sun will come through this roof like that, and now they have this whole area that they have their winter playground now all stable. I have put a few braces in here to hold up the roof for the snow, just in case the snow now is going to get too heavy, especially because the integrity of it is not as good as what it used to be. It's at least all covered up now, and this will help. And you saw that the one side is still holding the snow just fine. I'm thinking that this should be just fine too, but if not, we'll be back out again and do this all over again. I don't think there's any fear of this falling down on the chickens or anything like that. I think at worst it'd be some snow falling on them, and they will survive a little bit of snowfall. I am happy this is all done now though. The roof is going to hold, I think. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to tell me what I could do different. But I think that this will hold them up. I already see some of the chickens hanging out inside here as we speak, because this is where they love to be during the winter time, to get away from all the drafts and the cold weather. We'll close the door up, we'll allow them to get cozy, and let's see if we're messing anything else up around here. This flock does not like being outside like our other flock. They like hanging out inside here. How you guys doing? As you can see, our bunny loves this hut. No eggs for them either. Guess it's gonna be that kind of day. I felt like I really wanted to showcase off this video. I wanted to showcase off our making a mistake, showing that the roof fell apart just like people said it was, so that people can learn from us, right? Like, people can see that you aren't gonna make the best decisions all the time. Anyone wanted an update here on these Polish chickens? Here's one of our hens, our rooster. He's hiding from me. Right here. I mean, these guys right here are the perfect example of our trial and error and screwing up. Us not having an automatic door and having to come out here manually, locking them up every night. And when we didn't get to do it for a few nights, we felt the effects and had predator problems really hit. So now we're trialing out this, putting this coop inside this chicken tractor for this year, for the winter, just for them. We thought about trying to see if anyone wanted them. We'll probably add them to the new flock, at least the hen. I feel bad doing the hen just by herself because chickens, once they're used to a flock, I mean, like, she's gonna be used to that rooster, but this guy is getting a little grumpy, so we're probably not gonna keep him around for anyone who was wondering about that. Yeah, I don't know. He's just not working out. He's a little too jumpy for us. But yes, the point of the video for you guys was just to go out and try things. You're gonna make mistakes, you are going to make mistakes, and you are going to make mistakes probably 2 times. It's going to happen, you are going to regret it, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be frustrated. But if we don't learn from our mistakes, if we don't understand why they happened or what we could have done better, then we aren't growing as people more than just homesteaders or whatever, small farm, whatever you're doing. I mean, we can't grow as people if we don't take those steps and acknowledge those mistakes that we make. That is the purpose of why we are here. Trial and error, realizing that something didn't work, and now having to adjust and figure out what is the best way or what is best for us. Some things you might make a mistake and realize that that is not for you. We took a step back from goats after we had that tragic incident to start the year for goats for us, and realized, like, hey, maybe this just isn't us for right now. We have to figure it out. We have to wait for the right time for that. And some trial and errors are gonna hit you a lot harder than others. And unfortunately, we have felt that this year, and I just want everyone to be encouraged and realize that it can happen, but you can keep working through it and you can keep learning and getting better because of it. Well, I'm gonna go inside and go get warm. Maybe a hot cocoa or something good like that, or maybe just a coffee. Have a great day and a better tomorrow, and God bless you guys.